Hey everybody, I'm Jack.
I'm Jake.
This is Live at 5 here at Isle Music Company. Welcome to our little program here that we do. That's it. I'll see you next week. No.
All right.
We got a handful of guitars here behind us. It's actually fun because I have one day off a week.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes I'm still here on that day. Most times. I'm here a lot of my day off. And not bragging or anything.
Okay.
And so I was off last Friday, and then I came in on Saturday, and there were these 3 used Gretches just hanging out up here. And all I can think is I hope whoever traded in the Gretches... Richard! Are you still in Arizona? How's Arizona? I think that's where you were. Arizona? Yeah. But someone traded in these 3 Gretches, and I didn't really look into it, but I really hope that they traded in these 3 Gretches and left with one really nice Gretsch. Because that's... Obviously, they have a thing. They have a brand they would really prefer. They have a type of guitar they really like. They like those thin U-shaped necks, I guess. That's a... Gretsch is another one of those brands where the model number is like an entire game show trying to figure out what it is. And so I've decided that I think it'd be a great idea. We randomly call, it's getting hot. Yeah, I feel that. It's like pushing 80 degrees here in Maryland, so I can't imagine what it's like out in Arizona. Just casually interrupting myself to talk to Richard. It's okay, everybody. And so I want to start calling sales reps from companies and be like, hey, if I read you a model number, I need you to tell me what kind of guitar it is. Like, tell me what the shape is, if it has a tremolo, or if it's a hardtail, if it's a semi-hollow, if it's a full arch top, is it a solid body? Like, I just want to start spouting off these model numbers, and I want to see if the reps even know the numbers too, because it's getting out of hand.
I just thought about something. We get three of our coworkers together, and we turn it into a game show.
That'd be a fun one.
That our coworkers have to guess what.
Yeah, what do we... This is a G52260G.
T. Yeah.
It will be TG.
TG, yes.
The T means as a trem. The G means it's gold. In case you didn't know that from Gretsch, the TG means trem, gold. All the other stuff in the middle, who knows? Like, for example, this is one of the used ones. I've always liked these guitars. It's a G5220. The G just stands for Gretsch.
M stands for music.
So the 5220, this is a Jet series guitar. It's a Jet from the Electromatic series. I don't know what's going on there. They're usually a chambered body, which I can, it's pretty lightweight. Let's see here. The neck, if I can remember correctly, because we know I like it. Yep, that thin U-shaped neck. This has the black top Broadtrons inside of it. Not the really nice version that you see on the Player Series guitars. Mm-hmm. Not to be confused with Fender, by the way. Fender Player Series guitars are made in Mexico. Gretsch Player Series guitars made in Japan. Just so we're clear on how all that works. 2 very different things.
Which is interesting.
But what's really nice, though, is because of the way that these Broadtrons are designed, you can drop other things right in there. Gretsch pickups are not super easy to come by, but we also can always order you a set of TV Jones, and TV Jones has a set of pickups that are phenomenal for dropping in right on Broadtrons. So come on in and check this out. I think, what do they call this one? The Imperial Stain?
Wait,
do we have it on the tag? Oh, that's not the right name.
Yeah, no. Which one is that? That's okay.
Bristol Fog? This might be Bristol Fog.
Yes, it is.
Let's
what it is.
Update that listing.
No, it is. It is on my listing.
Okay, let's update it in our sales system.
Oh, there you go.
Because in store it's wrong.
No, I use exactly what they said.
Next up, we're gonna look over here at the G. Am I looking at the right one? Yes. The 2622. You never know. They're a little. So now we're gonna start getting into some of these semi-hollow options that come from Gretsch. So these are a maple body, center block design, humbucker pickups, and you can see these the BT2Ss.
Richard's getting me over here.
Richard's like, let's confuse the entire industry. For those who don't know, because you see him in the comment section every so often, Richard used to work here at Island Music Company.
Yep.
He was one of our photographers back in the day, which really think about it.
2016
been a while.
is when he started it, I
but
think.
Richard took photos for the website and Reverb and all that, and so we like seeing Richard pop up. It's always fun to interact with Richard through the chat. So Richard, hope you're doing well out in Arizona, and you're always welcome to visit, stop in and say hey, and you know, maybe one day if you're back in Maryland, we'll get you in on an episode of Live at 5, and we'll do the model name game show with you. That'd be awesome. So these are the Broadtron. It's a version of the Broadtrons, but you can see they're smaller in shape, or larger in shape than the ones behind us here. These are the BT2S. Current models have the 3S. It's not a huge difference. Like they say there is. The 3s are a little bit chimier. And I'm willing to bet this has the. All right, let's file a complaint with Gretsch.
Okay.
How big of a difference is there really between a thin U and a soft C? Because this neck feels the exact same as the one right here.
0.001.
It's like it's slightly rounded a little differently. Like it's
0.001.
But that begs a huge issue of mine when it comes to buying guitars. I have a huge problem with people that go on the forums and they're like, well, this guy on this random forum I looked at said I wouldn't like this guitar because of the neck shape. Get over it. Come inside your local music store and play the guitar yourself. Put the neck in your hand and see if you really wouldn't like it or not. Like, I'm tired of everyone who's like, the forums said no. Get off the forums. Come into Island Music Company, put the guitar in your hand, plug it into an amp, strum it with a pick, put a tuner on the headstock. See that you actually would want to play the guitar, not just Dave in Arizona. I'm sorry, not Arizona. I just think of Arizona because Richard. It's like Dave in Arizona is like, the nut width is too wide. Yeah, it might be too wide for Dave, but it might not be too wide for Jake or Richard, right?
Well, and to be honest as well, you could have the exact same model of a guitar, and it'll be the slightest difference.
Well, yeah, there's variances in how wood gets cut, how lacquer gets applied,
Yeah.
How things get sanded, all that stuff applies.
So even so.
But I'm a huge proponent of you got to come into your local music store and actually play the dang thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's really going to be the marker of whether or not you like it. Yes, so this was I'm going to have to look at this card to talk about it. The G2622 hollow body with the V bridge there. We appreciate it, Richard. Stop in anytime, preferably during our open business hours, but that'd be the ideal time to visit. If you show up while if you pop into the store while we're closed, you might not be allowed to come back. This here is the G2420, the Streamliner hollow body. And then these have the Chromatic 2 tailpiece is what they refer to that as. I'm going to be bewildered on this because I'm willing to bet. See, I would have called it a thin U. They're calling it soft C. But we're getting back into the maple body. This one also has the Broadtron style pickups in it. I believe it's an all maple body. Yep, arched maple body, soft C neck. But this one is it's the larger body, so you're going to get more resonance out of it, more of an acoustic sound if you were to happen to be going unplugged in that situation right there. So yeah, just a handful of used Gretsch guitars here at the shop right now. Great price points too, by the way. I think they're all under 500. So come on in and check those out, because to grab these guitars for under 500 is pretty good, because I think, for the most part, most of them end up ranging a little closer to 6. So, let's see, let's move on from those. This one here, I'm pretty certain this one is going to end up being sold here over the weekend, because we have a couple people looking for this exact guitar. But I wanted to show it off to you guys real quick and get into it. This is the Martin, what do they call this one? They call it the X Series Special, which is kind of hard to really dictate and talk about what it is. But it's essentially a DX2, a DCX2 12 string. But they call it the Special, and it's more or less because it doesn't really fit into one of their regular model numbers. But if you're a fan of the new X Series, the X2 series guitars from Martin, this is a phenomenal addition to that. It's the 12 string with the cutaway. And I just wanted to showcase that real quick and let you know that they are doing that. This one I think has the, it's a solid spruce top, and it's using the Brazilian rosewood veneer for the body. Fantastic guitar. Just want to let you know that they do make it in a cutaway version because typically Martin's 12 strings that they do on a regular rotation are full dreadnought, so there's no cutaway. They're the full shoulders. But I'm pretty sure we've got a couple people looking specifically for this guitar, so this one probably won't make it through the weekend. But worth showing it off to you and letting you know, because I think we have a couple of the X2 12 strings in stock anyways, the normal ones with the regular shoulders.
And correct me if I'm wrong, the control knob at the neck seems to be master volume on the Gretches.
Yes. Yeah, so that's where Gretsch's master volume comes into play. You have, typically down here, you'll have tone, and then you'll have volume for each pickup, and then you'll have a master volume for the whole guitar.
Yeah.
So that is how that works on Gretsch's. And then when you start getting into some of the Gretsch's that are made in Japan, you start getting into other switching and additional volumes, and it's a whole.
And the whole body's filled with knobs.
Yeah, it's called the knob caster. All right, one more guitar. We're flying through them today, but it's mainly because we just had 3 used ones.
Yeah.
This one I'm pretty excited for. We met with this brand while we were off at NAMM in Anaheim back in January, and things just kind of came to a pause because it takes a little bit of time to add new companies to a store the size of ours, because we'd love to carry everything if we could, but for those of you who are been following us for a while or have just recently started checking us out, we carry a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And the hardest part about adding new stuff is not that we don't want to add new stuff or not that we can't add new stuff. A lot of it just comes down to where would we put new stuff?
Yeah.
Like, I can't make our store any bigger. Trust me, I wish I could. So if you think about it, if we have, just for an example's sake, because we have way more than this. If I only have 200 spots available to hang guitars, but I have 500 guitars in the store, and then companies want you to carry 50 of theirs and another 25 of another, it's like, where do I put all that? So it's kind of a little bit of give and take. You might notice that some of our specialized and boutique brands kind of go in cycles.
Yeah.
So over the years, we had Sir for a while, and we might be carrying Sir again. But, once we sold out of Sir, we had more Nags guitars, and then we added B3. And then we've just added a little bit more odds and ends throughout. We're getting Sully guitars in stock now. And but you'll notice we never carry all these brands all at the same time. And it's not that we can't, and it's not that we don't have an interest in doing that. It's just more, you have your big name brands that sell consistently all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you see stuff here in the shop that you really like, awesome. If you don't see stuff in the shop that you're really interested in, just ask us, because we can still order it. We can still get it in for you to come in and play and check out. We just probably don't have it physically in the store.
Yeah.
But we can always order it. So think about that next time you're in the store, and maybe there's brands that you're interested in, but you don't see them hanging up or you don't see them on our website. It doesn't mean we can't get them. It just means we don't have them at the moment, and I'd be happy to order them in for you.
Yep.
That's how this company comes into play.
Mm-hmm.
We met with FERC at NAMM by a freak accident, by the way. A FERC accident. So, couldn't help myself, sorry. So, I have been meeting on and off with Santa Cruz Guitars, and very excited to start working with them and seeing how that plays out. And all that's still in discussions and details, but I love Santa Cruz Guitars. So I've been talking with them and see if we can get figured out. So I was early for my appointment with them. So I was just walking around, found that FERC And I recognize it because we've had one come through the repair shop. And they're fantastic guitars. I gotta hand it to them. They're a smaller, lesser known acoustic company, which is a hard market to get into because 90% of the time someone comes into our shop looking for acoustic guitars, they're asking about 3 brands: Martin, Taylor, Gibson.
Yep.
They don't really ask for anything else. Thankfully, we have a handful of other brands that hit all types of price points and all types of interests and endeavors, and we're happy to fill the void and the needs where we can. But FERC kind of jumps in and fills that gap a little bit here. This is called the Violet EMD, so the D for Dreadnought. I have their listing pulled up here from their website because they're still very new to us. We're still trying to remember it all and figure it all out. Comes with a pretty well padded gig bag. They do a really great job on their bracing pattern. This one here, yeah, there we go. So it's an Engelmann spruce top and an African mahogany back and sides. But what's great is for those features and this style guitar, it comes in at under $2,000. Mm-hmm. So an Engelmann spruce and an African mahogany body at under $2,000 is a pretty great deal on a price point. I think it's a little dark up here, so it's really hard to tell. I think it's an ebony fingerboard. There's no electronics on it, which is great because it gives you the opportunity to add whatever you want, or it also just sounds phenomenal unplugged. I just took it out of the box before we started doing this because we just got it today, so I haven't had a chance to really spend time with it. So it's not in tune. I didn't get a chance to tune it. Literally, I walked up here from shipping things and working on the sales floor, and we went live.
Yeah.
But it sounds fantastic, volume and resonance wise. This guitar booms, and I'm a huge fan of that. They have options to install yellow bags if you wanted to order one with the yellow bags, but we can also do that here for you in the store. They have a very unique neck system. They call it the CNR system, and what that does is the CNR is kind of like your typical truss rod, but it has a way to move the neck kind of back and forth rather than just bowing it back and forth. So look into that. Look up the FERC, FURCH CNR. Richard, to answer your question, yes, it looks like a Tusk graph nut. And saddle as well, apparently. So very cool. But yeah, check out FERC guitars. We've got this one here in the store. It just came in today, so it's not online yet. We have a few more on order. I think they'll do pretty well. I'm excited to get it tuned up and head on the floor. I'm actually probably just going to put this one straight on the floor because I know I have a space in there available.
Yeah, and I'll have it up tomorrow
So
online.
I'm probably just going to walk in there and put it on the floor, and we'll get a sign on it and ready to go. But yeah, check out FERC guitars. I'm excited to start carrying these in. I'm a sucker for a good acoustic guitar. We've known that. Anytime we do an episode where it's all acoustic guitars, that was what, 2 weeks ago? I love a good acoustic guitar.
We did one last week, and then there's the other after that one.
Yep, like I said, love a good acoustic guitar. Can't get enough. Now that I've started playing electric in a band and we're playing out a lot, but I have all the gear I need for that because I just bought stuff that I needed. Stuff that I like, but stuff that I needed. Now I can go back to buying acoustic guitars. So I'm excited to get back to buying acoustics. So I think that's everything. We have the X Series Special Dread. It's the 12 string with the cutaway. I'm pretty sure this will be gone this weekend. We have our 3 used Gretches. This was the G2420, G5220.
Yep.
And the one that's wine red. What's this tag say? 2622.
Also walnut.
Walnut?
That's when I put in the serial number.
Red. It's a red walnut. And then the FERC violet. So this is another cool thing about FERC guitars is they don't really have the different colors is the different lines, I guess so to speak. They're tiers of models. Violet is kind of in their entry-level price point type stuff. Then it goes up to there's like red, yellow, green, and they all get phenomenal. Well, someone came in with a red not too long ago, a red Grand Auditorium. Mm-hmm. Fantastic guitar. So I'm excited to see when the other ones come in. They'll be trickling in throughout the year. So in the meantime, come check this one out. I'm putting it in the acoustic room today. So thanks for tuning in. I'm Jack.
I'm Jake.
Should do a live on guitar pedals. Richard, I would love to do a live on guitar pedals. I need to mentally prepare for that. It takes more time to set up than hanging guitars on the wall, but I'm totally down for that. So,
And I got to wire it.
yeah, no problem. So, I believe that's it. That's all we got. Oh, Saturday
Saturday.
is our Recycle Restring event.
Yep.
Bring in your guitars. You bring in one guitar per customer, and we'll recycle the strings on that guitar, and we will restring it with a set of D'Addario XS strings for free. One guitar per person, one free restring, but it has to be the D'Addario XS strings that we have in stock. We have a limited supply of the free ones, so those are first come, first serve. But if you want to get your guitar restrung afterwards, say we run out of those strings, we'd be happy to still restring the guitar because we're here more for the recycling efforts of the event, not so much the handing out. You know what I mean? It's a good effort. We're restringing. It's also excuse me. I also found out it's Celebrate La Plata Day. For those of you who don't know, where you're based in La Plata, Maryland.
That's interesting.
So there's supposed to be some types of events going around town. I don't know what they are. No one said anything to me. I just saw a sign that said Celebrate La Plata.
Well, one of them is string recycle.
String Recycle here at Island Music Company. Yep. So celebrate La Plata by recycling your strings and getting a fresh set thrown on there. We'll be happy to help you out. That's all we got. So thanks for tuning in to Live at 5. We'll be back next week. Little surprise. Next week's episode is just going to be the odds and ends of island music.
Okay.
I'm pulling out the weird rarities type stuff that, when I say rarities, I guess I mean more oddities. Like,
I was about to say.
more unique
Okay.
type things that have just been sitting around for a while or that you wouldn't see from browsing online or checking into most other stores. So, Richard, you have a great day.
See ya.
All right, bye, everybody. See you.